being real with self. My dad can see the glory of the coming of the left. I can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for help. It's time to switch it up, put the hip shit on the shelf. Cause the way the real weapons being real with self. My dad can see the glory of the coming of the left. I can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for help.
Like Kanye West said, having money is not everything. Not everything is. No, the Lord everything with the ability to create wealth. It's the love of money that's involved. You know, like money so much, why you have to go to work? First, I do think about one of the things that my baby got to say. I'm just trying to leave a legacy for money. Not everything, but when you got it, you can do some cool stuff. Now, your host for Talking Money in the Morning, financial health mentor to work sweat.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is your main man here, H. Cortez, the one and only financial health mentor to the working class, where I do my very best to bring practical yet proven wealth building strategies to working class men and women all over this great nation of ours. So glad that you decide to tune in to Talking Money in the Morning live. I count it both an honor and a privilege to be able to come to you each and every morning, Monday through Friday, 7 o'clock a.m. Central Time, to help you with some wealth building tips, strategies, tips on success, entrepreneurship, and all things positive, man, because I'm just a positive type dude. If you're checking this out on Facebook, do me a huge favor and share this stream on your wall. What we're going to talk about today is building wealth with the money that you currently have. So I want you to share this because I know people need to hear this. Most people are waiting for a sudden windfall of cash or playing the lottery. They're doing all this kind of stuff. But we're going to talk about taking the money that you currently have and using that to build wealth. So share the stream for me if you're checking this out on Facebook. If you're checking this out on YouTube, then I want you to grab the link, dump it into your favorite social media platform, whether that is YouTube, whether that is Facebook, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Instagram, wherever, so that people know that there is somebody this morning that woke up with wealth on the brain, and we're talking about it this morning live. And as always, let me tell you exactly who this show is for. This show is for my risers and grinders. If you're getting up, getting out, and going to get something today and take one step further, put one foot in front of the other towards building your legacy, this show is for you. If you went to bed last night and as you laid your head on the pillow and you started thinking about where you're going to be 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, and you know that you're going to be in a better place because of the things you're going to do today, this show is for you. If you are the type of person that understands the importance of generational wealth and making tough sacrifices today so your kids will live a better tomorrow, this show, my friend, is for you. Now, on the other hand, who is this show not for? If you're that person with that crazy relationship with money, you think capitalism is evil, you think money is bad, you don't like the fact that I just said money 12 times in the last 10 seconds, this show, my friend, is not for you. If you're sitting back looking to the government and politicians to fix the economy instead of focusing on your economy, this show, my friend, is not for you. Because I can promise you this, when you don't have the right relationship with money, you tend to repel money away from you. And the people who watch this show want to attract money to them. So if you want to repel money away from you, this show is not for you. And let's be quite clear. I don't have a problem with you not wanting to be wealthy. Some people are content where they are. Some people are okay with being average and below. That's just not me. I only have a problem with you when you have a problem with me wanting to be a future billionaire, right? That's when I have the problem. So if you're one of those types of people, this show is not for you. You can tune out right now and we won't miss you one bit. Today's show is brought to you by National Credit Educational Services. If you need true credit restoration, then send me an inbox and I'm going to give you the link to National Credit Educational Services, and they will help you restore your credit. What's the difference between credit restoration and credit repair? Credit repair tends to wipe everything off of your credit, right? Credit restoration is going to restore your credit. If they wipe everything off your credit, a large portion or determining factor of your credit score is credit history. So if they wipe everything off, now you have no history. So no credit is the same thing as having bad credit, right? So credit restoration will help you restore the relationships with your creditors where you may have had some slow pay, you may have had some collections. They're going to help you get all of that stuff right so it reports good so that you are improving your score. So it's a one-time fee of $350, and they will create a relationship with you. And it's not a one-time quick fix thing. It's an ongoing relationship, and they're going to educate you along the way so that you can maintain that good credit. And if you need to fix your credit in the future, you'll know the steps to take. So National Credit Educational Services, if that's you and you need that, just send me an inbox and I will get you the link to that so you can get that going in your life. Today's show is all about building wealth with the money you already have. Let me ask you a question, guys. Why is it that we despise humble beginnings? Right? Why is it that we despise humble beginnings? Why is it that we treat life like there is something wrong with us starting from where we are? If we can't start a business and we're not like Facebook, Google, Microsoft right out of the gate, we don't want to start a business, right? You forget that Microsoft was started in Bill Gates' garage, his parents' garage, right? You forget that White Castle was a little hole in the wall, literally a little hole in the wall, and you went and dealt with these people through a little hole and paid 5 cents for your burger. So why is it that we despise humble beginnings, right? So we're talking about building wealth from the money that you have right now. That's going to take what's called a humble beginning. Some of us are waiting for this windfall of cash. Some of us are waiting to hit the lottery. Some of us are waiting to get an insurance policy. Some of us are slipping and falling in the store so we can get a settlement, right? And don't get me wrong, we've all had this conversation, right? Conversation goes like this: boy, if I had $1 million, I'd do this, 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 and this. Man, if I had Bill Gates money, my community would look like this, 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 and this, right? Well, guess what? Bill Gates' money started from nothing. The way the story goes, Bill Gates actually bought the disk operating system, DOS, from somebody else. He didn't even create it. He bought it from him. He bought it from him with $50,000 that he did not even have. He got that money from his partner, Paul Allen, right? And he got that money from Paul Allen because he sold Paul Allen shares of a company that didn't even exist. Microsoft didn't even exist when he got Paul Allen to put up the $50,000 to buy the disk operating system. So you're talking about humble beginnings. This was a man who had nothing but vision and imagination. And he started Microsoft from there. You can build wealth from right where you are right now, but it's going to have, you're going to have to understand that it's going to take a humble beginning. You're going to have to start where you are. There's 5 critical steps to building wealth, and then you're going to need this 6th element to get the ball rolling. What are those 5 critical steps? Number 1, you have to first define what wealth means to you. Wealth is a relative term. It means different things to different people. The first thing you have to do is, hey, what's going on, Sharon? The first thing you have to do is define what wealth means to you. Now, I will give you my definition. You can adopt it if you want, but you have to define it for yourself, because otherwise, how in the heck can you hit a picture of something that you don't even know what it is? So define what wealth means to you. Wealth means to me is the day that my non-wage income surpasses my expenses. Sorry, guys, somebody is calling me. The day your non-wage income, All right, sorry guys. Somebody started calling me right in the middle of the street. So wealth means to me the day that your non-wage income surpasses your monthly expenses, you, my friend, are wealthy. Give an example. Takes you $4,000 a month to live your life comfortably the way that it is. $4,000 a month. Okay. If you can generate non-wage income to the tune of $5,000 a month, this is money that comes in month after month that does not require you to use labor to attain it, then you, my friend, are wealthy. Why? Because whether you roll over in bed or roll out of bed, your monthly expenses are taken care of with $1,000 left over. Now, does that make you rich? No, rich is more about a dollar amount, right? Rich is more about a single dollar amount. So if you had $1 million today and it cost you $5,000 a month to live, you would be considered rich because you have far more in excess than you need to spend monthly. But guess what? If you only had $1 million and it was a stagnant amount, meaning it wasn't reoccurring, eventually that $5,000 monthly expense will eat up that $1 million, right? So that's my definition of wealth. You can adopt it if you want, right? But you have to first define what wealth means to you, point blank, period. The second thing that you have to do if you're going to build wealth from where you are right now, you're going to have to make a decision to be wealthy, right? I know that sounds very elementary, but it's true. You have to decide to be wealthy. Some of you guys aren't making that decision because people that you run with are going to look at you sideways. They're going to say, how dare you think you can be wealthy? How dare you think you can rise above the situation that we're all in right now? And you're not making that decision, but nothing ever happens without a decision. I don't care what it is. Nothing ever happens without a decision. You're going to have to decide to be wealthy if you want to build wealth with the money that you currently have. So number one, you have to first define what wealth means to you. Number two, you have to decide to be wealthy. Number three, you're going to have to draw out a plan to get you there, right? You need a plan. You need a blueprint. You need a systematic step-by-step process that will get you to your wealth. We will help you as we get into the program. I will help you put a plan together that will take you from where you are right now. I don't care if you are making minimum wage. I don't care if you're making $1,000 an hour. If you want to go to another level financially, you're going to need to draw out a plan, right? Some of you guys will have to change vehicles or add a vehicle to what you're doing. When you draw out this plan, you have to ask yourself, is the vehicle that I'm in even capable of getting me to the money that I want? You have to ask yourself that question, right? So think about this. We know that I can have a Pinto and I can have a Ferrari. Both of these vehicles will get me where I want to go on land, right? Highways and byways. One of them will get me there a lot faster, but both of them will get me there, right? So if my destination is to go from St. Louis, Missouri to California, both of those vehicles will get me there, and that's cool. And some of you guys with your finances want to go from St. Louis to California. So the vehicle of your job, the vehicle of a small business, the vehicle of some other income stream producing activities will get you there. But if I wanted to go from California to Hawaii, neither one of those vehicles will get me there. Everybody understand? So when you're talking about building wealth from scratch, once you have defined what that wealth looks like for you, what the picture of wealth is for you, you've decided to be wealthy, you have to draw out a plan to get you there. Now that you know where you're going, if where you're going requires you to have or jump into a different vehicle, then you have to start seeking that different vehicle. So to go from California to Hawaii, I can't get there in the Ferrari or the Pinto. I'm gonna need a boat or a plane, right? Helicopter or something. So that's why it's important to define what wealth means to you so that you know what type of vehicle you have to have in order to get you there. Then you decide to be wealthy and draw out a plan. Number 4, you have to be disciplined and determined to execute that plan. Some of you guys know that I'm a youth basketball coach, right? I call a timeout, draw up a plan in the huddle, tell them exactly what to do, how to do it, what the other team's tendencies are, how this is going to work for them. Ready, break. Break the huddle, 1, 2, 3 defense, 1, 2, 3 team, or whatever we say at the huddle, right? Send them back onto the court. If they do not go out there and execute the game plan, then it was almost a waste of my time to draw up that game plan. Same with you. If you have defined what wealth means to you, you've decided to be wealthy, you've drawn up the game plan, and if you don't have the determination and the discipline to execute that game plan, then you're playing games with yourself. Gotta be determined and disciplined to execute the game plan. And what is discipline, guys? My simple definition of discipline is this. It's doing what you know needs to be done, especially when you don't feel like doing it. I'm gonna say it again. Doing what you know needs to be done, but especially when you don't feel like doing it. That's discipline, right? You have to be determined and disciplined to execute that game plan. And then number 5, this is the primary reason that most people are settled and content with being average or even below average, because in order to build wealth, you're going to have to disassociate yourself from people that will not either help you or support you in your effort to build wealth. In order to build wealth or have success at anything, you're going to have to disassociate yourself from people that will not either help you or support you in your endeavors. Now, here's why this is so terribly tough for a lot of people. Sometimes that very person you need to disassociate yourself with is a person that you land next to each and every night. Now, I'm not telling you to go divorce your spouse. What I'm saying is sometimes they've made up their mind that they're not going to help you build wealth. So when you get into wealth building mode, you might have to separate yourself from that person for a couple of hours, because they might be giving you everything else that you need, just not supporting you in this one area. So you can't go and share your dreams and aspirations with that person, right? So sometimes that is the case. Sometimes that very person is the person that brought you into this world. And I know that's tough to hear, but it's even tougher for me to hear a parent berate and belittle a child. I don't care if that child is grown. You ain't nothing. You ain't never gonna be nothing. What you talking about building wealth? You ain't gonna ever get no money. We come from a poor family. We always gonna be poor. If that's the people who brought you into this world, you have to disassociate yourself. Do you cut your parents off? No. But again, when I'm around my parents and they are pessimistic to the core, I can't talk about building wealth, because I don't need anybody shooting down my dreams, tugging at my self-confidence, causing me to doubt myself and what it is that I'm doing. So you have to be willing to redraw your circle, that circle of influence, right? Because people will tear you down, build you down, and have you doubting whether or not your goals and aspirations are even worthy of your effort to pursue them. So you have to get around the right people. You know, the saying goes, you are the average of the 5 people closest to you. Average in income, average in socioeconomic status, average in relationships, and average in everything, right? 3 things determine who you are: the people you associate with, the books you read, and the places you go, right? So some of us have never been anywhere. That's cool. Maybe we can't change that right now. You can start reading books. They will change who you are. You can change the people you associate with. That does change who you are. So I like this double entendre right here, right? It says this: when you can't change the people around you, change the people around you. All right, let that sink in. When you can't change the people around you, change the people around you. It's that simple, guys. but it's not going to be easy. Some of these people are people that you've been coming up with 15, 20 years. Some of these people saw you through some tough times, and you almost feel like you owe them. And that's why you're hanging on to them, because you're aspiring to be wealthy. And you're saying, because you helped me through that tough time, when I attain this wealth, I'm going to help you too. Well, guess what? They may be the people who are keeping you from attaining the wealth, because you're holding on to dead weight. If they don't want that life, you can't force feed it. I don't care if you have a gold brick. If you hit somebody over the head and they don't want it, you can't force them to take it, right? So if you can't change the people around you, change the people around you. Now, those are the 5 things, and those are more mindset and attitude and belief type things you have to come to terms with internally. Now, let's talk about how we're going to actually build wealth from what we have. So let me really quickly recap the 5 critical steps. You have to first define what wealth means to you. If you don't have a clear picture of what wealth means, you'll never hit that target. You have to then decide to be wealthy. Nothing ever happened without a decision, guys. You didn't stumble across wealth. You decided to go and get it. You didn't stumble across your job. You decided to get up and go get a job. You didn't stumble across a business. You decided to go into business. Same thing with wealth. You have to make that decision. Then you have to draw out a plan. I'm going to help you draw out a plan right now. I'm going to draw out a plan. But once you draw out that plan, you have to exercise the discipline and determination to actually execute that plan. Because a blueprint, as wonderful as it is, you can have a blueprint. It could give you all of the details. Well, this part of the building is going to go here. We're going to have a movie theater here. We're going to have a bowling alley here. If no one executes to the building of that blueprint, then it's just a fancy picture on a piece of paper. Some diagrams, some lines, and things of that nature. Someone has to execute on the game plan. And then you have, so that discipline and determination. And number 5, I promise you guys, you're going to have to disassociate yourself with the people who don't want to help you or support you in your wealth building effort. Point blank, period. And you don't have to go to them and boldly say, hey, you're out of my life. What you do is you just start associating with people who are. And by default, you no longer have the time to really run with those people. And if those people are true friends, if those are people who truly love you, when they see this transformation happening in your life, they're going to be happy for you, even if they don't support you. I have buddies right now. I was just in a barbershop with my man Marlo over at Jack of All Fades. We do not talk every day, but me and this guy have been running together since 12 and 13 years old. And when I asked him, man, I need to use your shop, open it up on a Sunday for me to have a wealth building workshop. Every time we see each other, we pick up the conversation where we left off. We're just doing different things. We're just on 2 different paths. So if they are truly friends, they'll understand that you're running with somebody that's going to help take you to another level, and they're going to be completely comfortable with that. If they are not, and they start constantly pulling at you, pulling you away. Hey, man, come to the ball game with me. Hey, come to this party with me. Hey, come sit down and have a beer with me. Hey. And you're constantly telling them, hey, man, I got some goals and some dreams, some aspirations. I'm trying to accomplish something. I've got a meeting to go to. I got a seminar to go to. I'm going to this workshop. And they're constantly pulling at you. Then that may be a key indicator that that's somebody who don't want to see you elevate. Because in most cases, when you elevate your life, it shines a light on their inadequacies. And people, that's what people fear the most. When you start elevating your life and you guys come from the same background, then everybody starts to look at that person and say, wow, why didn't you do what H. Cortez did? Why didn't you do what Keisha did? Why didn't you do what E. Shepherd did? Why didn't you do what William Stewart did? Y'all came from the same background. Now he's up here. You're still at the same level. So that's the problem with people in your life. So you're going to have to disassociate yourself from people who don't want to help or support you in your efforts to build wealth. Now, to build wealth from the money that you have right now, you're going to need this one key ingredient. You're going to need what's called a catalyst, right? What is a catalyst? A catalyst is something to get you going, to jumpstart this process, right? Because most of us are struggling paycheck to paycheck. Let's be real. Statistics say 3 out of 4 people are living paycheck to paycheck. Some of us are living paycheck to paycheck making $10 an hour. Some of us are living paycheck to paycheck making $30 an hour, right? Because of the way that we manage our money. So you need a catalyst. Why is a catalyst necessary? Because if you're living paycheck to paycheck, you're already stretched. So you can't find the extra money to do what you need to do to start this positive snowball effect to building wealth. So you need a catalyst. So what we teach in my financial success membership is one of the places that you can get that catalyst from is from your expenses, right? Look at your expenses. Look at where your money is going right now. And when I say catalyst, it could be something as little as $100 a month. And I can tell you right now where most of y'all can go get a catalyst of $100 a month from right now. Charter, DirecTV, right? So imagine you're paying $100 a month for cable or whatever. What if you took that $100 and say, you know what? Next 12 months, no cable TV. I'm gonna get a Fire Stick and have somebody jailbreak it for me and just stream TV or whatever. Whatever you do, just say, you know what? I'm gonna take that $100 a month, use it as my catalyst. And then you're saying to yourself, how is $100 a month gonna help me build wealth? $100 a month is not a whole lot of money. How is that going to create this snowball effect to building wealth? I'm gonna tell you how. It's 4 reasons that you don't have wealth right now. Number 1, you don't understand inflation. Number 2, taxes. Number 3, debt. Number 4, big business or less than ideal cash flow management. So if you have a catalyst of $100 per month, you can take that $100 per month and you start using it to apply towards your debt. So for instance, you got a $1,500 Visa credit card bill hanging over your head. It's costing you $50 a month to manage that debt. But when you're only paying $50 a month, that $1,500 might stretch out over 5 years. So what you do is you take that catalyst, that $100 that you got when you cut the cable off, you take that catalyst, now you add it to the $50 a month. Now you're giving $150 a month and that Visa bill disappears a lot quicker. Now that catalyst has just grown from $100 a month to $150 a month. You do the same thing with your next debt. See, the catalyst needs to be used to eliminate your debt. Debt is the enemy of your wealth. If you are not attacking your debt with a vengeance, fellas, all right, you're the ones who are commissioned by God to be the providers and the protectors. Debt is attacking your family. It's attacking your legacy. It's attacking your children's wealth. And if you don't see it that way, I want you to start seeing that way, and you have to attack your debt with a vengeance. So you take that $100 from that catalyst of $100 a month when you cut off the cable, and you use your discipline to take that $100 a month and start applying it towards your debt. You get $150 when the Visa debt goes away. Maybe you do the same thing with MasterCard. Now you got $300 a month coming in based on that debt elimination. Now you take that extra $300 and you give the car note people their normal $400, $450, whatever your car note is, plus $300. What happens when you start giving the car note people $750, $800 a month? Car note disappears in 18 months instead of 60 months. Now all of a sudden, in a year and a half, you got $800 a month of disposable income. Can you use $800 a month to get rid of the student loan debt once and for all? Right? We know student loan debts don't go away. They just keep compounding and compounding. That's why they don't care about you getting a forbearance and you pushing that thing off further and further to the future. Because student loan debts, while they're backed by the government, they're issued by private lending institutions, meaning there's no cap on the interest they can charge you, and there's no cap on the compounding of that interest. So you can take out a $20,000 student loan. You can push that thing 20 years into the future. They don't care. It never goes away. And that $20,000 student loan turns into a $200,000 loan. And you don't get serious about it until they start garnishing your check. But you take an $800 starting from that $100 catalyst and you start infusing that to the payments that you're already making to the student loan. Now that finally disappears. Ultimately, you will get to a place where the only debt you have is your mortgage. And at the end of every month, your bills are paid and you got $1,500 left over. What do you do with that? Then you start investing that in, you know, real estate, paper assets, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, whatever. But that is the process of building wealth. The number one thing that you have to focus on is eliminating your debt. That's one catalyst. I'm gonna give you another catalyst real quick and we're gonna get out of here. Most working class people, if you're working a job, you're overpaying your taxes. Now, just as at the point of making 100% of your income through a job, like 95% of Americans, that act alone puts you in the highest tax bracket, period. Employees are taxed the absolute most. Add to that most people didn't read the W-4 form when they filled it out. They have it filled out incorrectly, so Uncle Sam is taking more than he should out of each one of your paychecks. So our Financial Success membership teaches you to use the tax code as your catalyst. If we can show you how to fill that form out properly and it brings $200 to $400 a month back into your household, now that becomes your catalyst for debt elimination. Again, what is the enemy of your wealth? Debt. Find a catalyst, some extra money somewhere, and you start throwing that towards your debt. Say, for instance, you're like one of the young ladies that we helped here recently. When she adjusted her W-4 form, it brought back $500 a month back into her household. All right. What if she didn't stop there and said, you know what? I got that $500 a month coming in, but I'm also going to cut off cable. Now that's $600 a month. I'm also going to cut out going out to eat for lunch every day at work. So now that's an extra $50. So now we're talking about $650. What if you can find some subscriptions that she's not really using and she was paying $50 a month for those subscriptions? That brings it nuts. So now you're talking about $700 a month as a catalyst, right? You give that $700 a month to the credit card people, that credit card bill goes away. Now you have that credit card is fully stopped. So you have that to leverage at a later date. You take that $700 a month plus what you got was given to the credit card company. You add that together. Now you throw it at the car note. You're giving car note an extra $800 a month. Car note disappears in 12 months. Inside a year, now you're looking at having $1,400, $1,500 per month to give to the student loan. You can get that student loan out the way really, really quickly if you're giving an extra $1,500 a month. That's how you start to build wealth. But the reason we gave you the 5 critical steps is because wealth begins in the mind first. Wealth begins here first. Then it shows up in the pocketbook, in the wallet, based on the actions that you take because you start thinking differently, right? How do you change the world? You change yourself and then you see the world differently. Did the world not change? When you start seeing it differently, that's a change in the world. A lot of people think that if I change the world, I have to change all of these external things. No, I change a few things internally. I see the world differently. Now I live in a different world, right? Some of y'all gonna get that later. But you need a catalyst. We teach that catalyst can come from Uncle Sam. If you are in a position where you already filled out your W-4 form right and you can't bring that catalyst in, the second catalyst that we teach is starting a business enterprise. Having a home-based business can save you even more money on taxes. Why? Because with a home-based business, most of the expenses that you have right now can be fully or partially tax deductible. If you start a business, most people that we help save anywhere from $8,000 to $12,000 a year on taxes. If I put $12,000 a year back into your pocket, can you eliminate your debt with that? Absolutely. Again, what's the enemy of your wealth? Debt. Get yourself out of debt. Now, all of a sudden, you freed up a bunch of money. Now, I'm going to take it one step further because some of you guys are on this webinar. You're thinking, you know, I've always wanted to build a family empire. Well, cool. What if 10 of you guys, you and your family, you and your team, you and your inner circle came to me and said, you know what? I want your financial success membership. I'm gonna say, cool. I'm gonna work with all of you guys individually, but you guys are working together as a team. And I'm gonna show each and every one of you how to free up $1,000 a month. Now, between to execute that plan, and you have to disassociate yourself from the people who's not going to help you or support you in achieving that goal. Sometimes that's a simple move as moving from this circle of influence to moving to this circle where people are more encouraging, more supportive. If you decide to partner with me with my financial success membership, you'll be immersed in a team of people called the Young Wealth Builders, where we help you along the way. You're in an environment that's conducive for wealth building, because all of us are struggling with eliminating our debt. All of us are struggling to understand how taxes play a part in keeping us broke. All of us are in the same boat, so we're all marching the same way. And sometimes you can connect with somebody on the team who is a single mom like you, and you can say, how are you making this program work as a single mom? Sometimes you can connect with people on the team who are single fathers. How did you make this program work as a single father? So you start putting yourself in a circle of people who are on the same path, and people who are optimistic and not pessimistic, and will help you along the way of building the family empire that you want to build. So that's what I want to share with you guys this morning. My financial success membership costs $120 to start, and then it's $35 per month. We will teach and train you on tax minimization strategies. We will teach you on and train you on debt elimination strategies. We will teach you on how, not only how and why you should have an emergency fund, but where to put the money for that emergency fund so that it grows for you in case you don't have an emergency, right? You can put your emergency fund in a bank, but if you never have an emergency, that money isn't growing. We'll teach you where to put that money so that in the event you have an emergency, you can access it to take care of the emergency. But in the event you never have an emergency for the next 5-10 years, that money is going to grow at a greater rate of return than if you just put it in a regular banking savings account, money market, or something to that nature. Once you have your emergency fund set in place and you eliminated your debt, then we're going to talk about all of the different ways that you can build wealth with investments, whether that investment is into stocks, bonds, mutual funds, those sorts of things. Whether you want to invest in real estate, we have real estate professionals in the organization that can help you understand how that game is played. Whether you want to invest in precious metals, gold, silver, that sort of thing, we've got people that can help you in that regard. But most people can invest because they don't have the money to. They're not financially healthy enough to. So we want to get you financially healthy first, and then we can teach you investment strategies and how investments work so you can go to the next level with your finances. And then last but not least, if you have any ambition at all, if you're looking at the condition of our communities and you're saying, you know what, I not only want this information for myself, I want to learn how to teach this information to others so that we can get more people up to speed, lift their financial IQ, so more and more people will get out of the stress of living paycheck to paycheck. Then we also pay a nice commission for referrals. So you can purchase a financial success membership yourself, start on the program, get the tools, the education, the training, the website, the software, all that you need to build your wealth building game plan, the training, support, and help to execute that game plan. And if it's starting to work for you in your life, you can refer people to the program and earn $25, $50, $500, and $1,000 commissions based on the people that you refer into the program as well. So that's my contribution to my community, wealth building education, but also a wealth building or a financial education franchise, because we understand that business people are the people in position to make money. Wealthy people earn wages. Wealthy people earn profits. Working class people earn wages. What's the difference? When you're earning a wage, someone else is dictating to you what your worth is. When you're earning profits, you're dictating to yourself what your worth is. So guys, that's my time. If you have any questions, let's do a quick 3 or 4 minute Q&A. Just type your questions in the chat. If you're on YouTube, then hop over to Facebook. Go to my profile, Cortez Springer, while I'm streaming live on Facebook. And if you got a quick question, we'll do a quick 2 or 3 minute Q&A. Then I'll tell you how to get a hold of me if you're interested in a financial success membership and how we can get that working for you in your life. Questions, anybody. Facebook, if you got any questions, now is the time. Do a quick 2 or 3 minute Q&A session. If not, we can just end the broadcast. And tomorrow it's going to be all about buying gold. All right, how many of you guys are interested in learning how you can buy gold, how you can save your money in gold, how you can transfer this paper currency into gold? That's what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. I have a special guest who's going to come on and break some of that stuff down so you can understand how that works and how you can start buying gold with a few dollars per pay period. You know, you can set up direct deposit or a direct draft where you can just start buying gold a little bit at a time. And if you did that for the next 20 years, maybe you accumulate a few hundred ounces of gold, right? Pass that down to your children along with the art, along with the real estate, along with the precious, along with the paper assets, along with the business, right? We're talking about building wealth. Wealthy people have 4 things working in their lives at all times. They have residual income, right? They learn how to do something one time and get paid for it over and over. They have passive income or leveraged income, meaning they learn how to generate income off the efforts of others, right? Some of you guys have a problem with that because you think there's something wrong with that. I don't want to make money off people, but you go to work every day and allow a corporation to make money off you. Leverage, that's all it is. That person will benefit and you will benefit. There's nothing wrong with that. They also have multiple streams of income. And when I say multiple streams, I'm not talking about having a diversified stock portfolio. I got stocks in this sector. I got stocks in this sector. Well, guess what? All of your money is still in the stock market. No, they have money coming from different stock or different asset classes. So the stock market, paper stocks, is an asset class. So yes, they have investments there. Real estate is an asset class. They have money coming from rental properties. They may flip a few properties. They may have business and commercial properties. They have money coming from that asset class. They own precious metals, right? That's an asset class. Collectibles, coins, art, that's an asset class, right? They have multiple streams of income. And then the 4th thing they have working in their life is they all understand the power of time. So they have business systems working for them because time is your most precious and valuable asset. So if you don't have systems, you can make a whole lot of money, but if it's taking you 20 hours a day to make a whole lot of money, is that really worth it? Wealthy people figure out that maybe I don't make a whole lot of money, but maybe I use a business system to make a little bit of money, and then I set up 50 of those business systems. Did y'all catch that? Maybe I don't take my time, I don't take 16 hours a day to make $5,000 a day, right? I have a business system that will make me $200 a day. And then I set up 50 of those business systems. And 50 business systems making $200 a day that's not requiring my time. Now I have both time freedom and money freedom. That's what this thing is all about. That's what this thing is all about. Time freedom and money freedom. Clever said, that's just smart, right? But most people think that the only way you can make money is through trading your time for dollars. Got to come out of that mindset. That's an that's an old mindset, you know, a farmer's mindset when we was in the agricultural age, right? Farmers put in all of this work and they were able to reap a harvest and reap a significant benefit of that money. But what ran a lot of farmers out of business? Machination, systems, right? Of doing things that made it more feasible and took less effort. And some of the farmers didn't adjust with the times and end up getting run off of their farms. So guys, that's what we're talking about, building wealth from the money that you currently have right now. We're at the end of the program, so let me give you the 5 critical steps really quickly, and then I will also give you the way to get in touch with me if you want to partner with me in the Financial Success Membership. I'll tell you how to do that as well. So 5 critical steps to build wealth. We talked about wealth starts in the mind. First thing you have to do is define what wealth means to you, right? If you don't have a clear picture of what wealth is, how will you ever hit that target? Second thing you have to do is decide to be wealthy. Nothing has ever happened on this planet without a decision. Somebody decided to do something and then made it happen. So you have to decide to be wealthy. It just doesn't happen automatically. Then you have to draw a plan to get you there. What is your game plan? Some of you want to be wealthy, but because you haven't defined what wealth is, you don't know what that picture looks like, you don't realize that you're in the wrong vehicle to get you there. Right? We gave the example of me being in a Pinto and me being in a Ferrari. I can take the Pinto and the Ferrari to go from here to California. But if my destination is Hawaii, neither one of those vehicles will get me there. Right? But if I didn't know that my destination was Hawaii, I wouldn't even know what vehicle I needed to get me there. That's why you have to have that picture of what wealth is, what that means to you, so you can get there. Right? You got to get there. You got to have the right vehicle to get there. Once you draw out that plan and determine the vehicle that you need, then you have to exercise the discipline and be determined to execute that game plan. And then once you execute that game plan, you're going to have to disassociate yourself from some people who will not help you or support you in getting to your goal. And yes, sometimes that person is the person laying next to you every night. Sometimes that person is the person that brought you to this world. Sometimes that person is that good girlfriend or that good homeboy that helped you through that tough time 10 years ago, and you feel like you owe him something. But he wants to stay where he is and you aspire to higher, but you don't want to leave him behind. Right? So you have to really, really think about redrawing your circle. You don't be rude to those people. You don't cut them off. You just start hanging with somebody else. You just start immersing yourself into a different circle, and by default, you can't be in 2 places at one time. By default, you're investing your time here, you have less time to invest there. And if they are real friends, they'll understand, they'll still love you and support you. I've got a bunch of real friends that I go back and hang out with, and we pick up the conversation like we had never been away from each other for 5, 6, 7 years. Right? So you have to understand the 5 critical steps to wealth. And then to build wealth from where you are, it's going to take a catalyst. That catalyst can be something as simple as cutting off the cable. You can bring that $100 a month back into your household. You start using that to eliminate your debt, because debt is the enemy of your wealth. Fellas, right? I always say fellas because I had to realize that as my commission goes, I'm commissioned by God to be the provider and protector for my family. And if debt is an enemy, then I have to protect my family from debt. Sometimes that means I have to say, no, honey, we're not going to finance any new furniture because that's debt. If we want the new furniture, we're going to save the money. And once we save the money, we're going to go and make that purchase. So I'm the protector. So sometimes I have to make those tough decisions as a protector. But a lot of times, if you don't see debt as an enemy, oh yeah, honey, go out and grab that big screen TV, that 55-inch from Rent-A-Center. Yeah, we're going to pay $55 a week for 10 years. And we're going to pay $10,000 for a $1,000 TV. When that same $10,000 could have been used to build wealth. Right? So you need a catalyst. The second catalyst we talked about is your tax system. Most people are overpaying their taxes. So if you partner with us in our Financial Success Membership, we can show you how to adjust your W-4 form to make sure that you're not overpaying in taxes. Right? If you're overpaying your taxes, then that could be $200 to $400 coming back in your household, and that's your catalyst to use to start attacking your debt. Again, debt is the enemy. So you can use that. But what if you bring $200 to $400 back in your household and you cut off the cable, right? Now you're just building a strong catalyst to eliminate debt a lot quicker. Once your debt is gone, all your bills are paid every month. You still got $1,500, $2,000 a month left over. We show you how to build your emergency fund, where to put that money. So in the event that you don't have an emergency, that money is still growing for you. Right? We show you that. Once you got your emergency fund in order, now you spend the rest of your life with no debt, an emergency fund, and you spend the rest of your life doing two things: acquiring income producing assets, and then teaching your children the difference between liabilities and assets. So when you pass that information, or you pass those assets on to the children, they not only know what they have their hands on, but they know how to build upon it. See, there's no doubt in my mind, I'm laying the foundation and I'm going to build the first 10 floors to this skyscraper. But it's going to be my children that are going to take it and build it all the way through the skyline. And when I pass them the asset and the resources, they're going to take the asset and the resources, and then they're going to build a city skyline of skyscrapers. And then they're going to take the assets and the resources and pass it to their children, and they're going to build an empire city. That's how this thing goes, man. Got to have both. Got to have the knowledge and the resources. That's what we're talking about, building wealth, starting where you're from. Guys, do not despise humble beginnings. There's nothing wrong with me wanting to be a billionaire and understanding that I'm going to start $1 at a time. And I'm not going to get weary and well doing. I'm just going to keep stacking $1 at a time. And eventually, those dollars are going to start compounding, right? That's what this thing is all about. Starting where you are, taking what you have and doing more with it, being extremely smart with it. No one can make this as plain as you do. Thank you, Clarissa. I appreciate that. But guys, that's my time. I got to get out of here and go punch the clock. I got another 2 months of punching that clock, man. And I am super, super stoked about what I'm going to be able to do with and for you guys when I buy back my time. So today's show is brought to you by National Credit Educational Services. If you need credit restoration, not credit repair, credit restoration, then send me an inbox and I'll send you the link so that you can understand what they can do for you. Difference between credit restoration and credit repair. Credit repair tends to wipe everything off your credit, but a large percentage of your credit score comes from credit history. If they wipe everything off, you have no history. No history is almost as bad as bad credit. Restoring your credit restores those relationships with those people you have history with already, so that continues to keep your score moving in the right direction. One-time fee, $350, but they will create a relationship with you, and it's an ongoing relationship. It's not a one-time quick fix. They're going to help you restore your credit over time and get you where you need to be. Tomorrow's show, we're going to be talking about the acquisition of gold. Most people don't realize that you can buy gold by the gram. So we're going to talk about how you can do that, how you can take a little bit of your paycheck and have it direct drafted and saved in gold. So I got a special guest who's going to come tomorrow and talk about that. So I'm your main man, H. Cortez, one and only financial health mentor to the working class. Until I talk to you in tomorrow's video, I want you to get your money up, because you absolutely can do it. Oh, and by the way, if you want the Financial Success membership, inbox me, or you can text your name and the word wealth to 314-874-6887. 314-874-6887. Text your name and the word wealth, or you can just send me an inbox and I'll send you some information on how our Financial Success membership works. And if you decide that it's a good fit for you, you believe that I, as a mentor, can help you where you want to go financially, then we can form that partnership, and then I can help you get where you want to go using this vehicle to help you along the way. So until I talk to you tomorrow, get your money up, because you absolutely can do it. Peace out, people.